G'day, today we're going to have a look at another city challenge. This time we are into Moscow, and we will go all about intersections. So I guess we've got no motorways and increased roundabouts and traffic lights. Yep. So definitely we'll see how degree of difficulty go here. So hopefully we can get to, what are we aiming for, say 1500. So with my once we get our sort of blue house up here, we're always starting with my blue and yellow. My my daughter has caught on that my two favorite colors are blue and yellow, so she when she tries to convince me to let her paint my nails, she tries to sway it by saying like it'll be blue and yellow. It's like, that's too far from the Super Bowl now, kiddo. You missed your window. All right. So I don't know how much. I mean, the roundabouts and the traffic lights are going to come into this just because I won't be able to leapfrog, obviously, roads over other roads. So that's going to be the biggest thing here. And I don't know if it's going to come too much into early planning about how much I'm going to try and manipulate it about where things are going to end up and if this is going to sort of cause problems. I mean, generally, I'll normally just sort of more play it as it lies sort of a mentality. And I could get that would probably end up seeing us have more intersections, probably more traffic lights than roundabouts I would expect, but luckily with both we're getting double. So we can have a nice selection of both. Certainly a weird spread there. Where do we want to go with that? I suppose what we can do is we'll just go all the way over the top. In blocking us going north at the moment. Could have them cut down here, but then they would have to use two bridges to make that journey. So let's just get that purple guy to share that road briefly, I suppose. Also means that I've currently got this guy operating on the furthest away, whereas we could really have... Nah, I think that even if I brought these guys to that, they'd have to almost cut across this path in order to do it. So let's get this guy down here. Give him to that guy, and then we will swing this guy down that way. Just arc them out a tiny little bit. He definitely won't be able to survive on one in the long run, but again, I don't know how long the long run is going to be here without motorways. It certainly doesn't feel like it's going to be long. So what we'll do again is we'll just extend this guy out a slight bit more. We can get all those guys out. I don't think that we're going to fit a roundabout in here anywhere with value. So what we'll do is we'll put a set of traffic lights there. Well, and then what we can do is we can put a roundabout here. And we'll let them connect in there. And then they can come down to that one. So it does mean all those guys are looking after all three of these. Generally don't like having multiple destinations at the end of the road for a single set of houses. The biggest problem I have with it is that the priority that they will take, I think it's a pretty mindless logic that they go by. So what would happen is this guy has a job come up, and so the closest guy in this house will take that job. The next building has a job come up, and the next closest guy will go until they're all gone. But eventually it means that there's no... If there's no one at home, it's probably just the last job that came up that's the one that they're going to go for. So if this guy is just struggling because the people going to him are taking longer to get there because he's further away, there is a risk that you need guys going here and they're actually still just going to closer ones just to sort of help the flow of them. So it's only in really those situations of again, late game, but that probably ends up being an issue, and it would be impressive if we have late game problems in a motorway-less level. Okay. Firstly, he's a nice connection for that one at least, and we'll just use that guy as a direct connection for him, and he can ride that solo at the moment. Got these 4 guys here, and we do want them connected. A weird little connection we got going for that at the moment. We'll take the bridge because I'm sure we're going to start having to go over bridges soon. I suppose what we could do, have those guys swing in there and then give him that way. It does mean that he loses his closest guy, but he does get let's get 4 houses, and it means that this guy's got 3 too, which is also important. This guy's going to need more help though. So where's that coming from? So what we'll do is we'll get these 2 guys connected in there. Let's just get that to sort of swing up to him a bit more. Alright, so there's at least a little bit of extra help. Okay, let's just pause for a second. Oh, we're out of road. Who are we saying goodbye to? We're going to say goodbye to those guys at the back. That's not the one I wanted to connect. It's Sunday night, so we'll wait it out. Take the bridge. Fortunately, this guy's going to have to whip around the back to get out. And once he's out, we can have all 3 of those guys connect. This guy is winning the battle of his connections at the moment, which is good. Still only got a split of 3 guys to that guy, 1 guy to this, but hopefully we're going to see some more greenhouses in this area that we can shift someone his way. He doesn't seem to care too much at the moment. You can see almost all of these guys are already out, pre them having the this guy go circular. So now what we need is these guys to get to here, and then we can cut him off that that network. We've got these little guys up here that we've got to work out what we do with them. We are getting a little bit of a collection here that we could almost have these guys come around the outside and connect to him and separate this off that as well. Let's take the 30 road tiles because that's what we're really struggling with. So we'll take that shift, give him the, I guess, 4 now. We'll let this guy have the 2. We can enjoy him as well. Oh, another one. Alright, so now they're in a pretty nice even split. Okay. 31. Bit of roundabout in there. Can we cut him off that? Doesn't look like it. I don't want him having to join into that. Well, actually what we can do is we can get rid of that. If we look at this 4th dimensionally, we can go that we're not going to need that bridge anymore. So we can shift these guys up that way. And then straight over here to connect to him. Then it means that these guys can go... Need a bridge. We need that one of those two bridges to come back to us. Good. Have these guys come up there and cover him, meaning that these two have now just shifted to the 2. Across everything that this ends up being yellow. Okay, that guy's circular as well now. So, I'm gonna have to figure out how to move and shake this a little bit. We can't have 5 houses looking after these 2 guys. We need to get these 2 guys down here somehow. But alternatively, this 3rd yellow guy here, we can get him to connect up. I don't like doing that, but there's an option that we have. We can also potentially just get rid of this. If we cut that, let's try and work out how to do this. Cut that. We've now got these guys all being looked after by he's 3, he's 2, he's 2, and then we've got this huge chunk of blue over here that just isn't connected to anything. But what we need is the purple to, like, we need basically more purple and we need more yellow. What if we swung this guy out this way? Put our other roundabout there. And have these 2 guys sort of come that. And this is going to be where I can't get these purple guys across because I could send the blue around the top to join into this as well. Say we went like... I could just cut through there, I suppose. I could cut through there. Get into that section. And then that's a bit more of a backup. We just lose our purple. Although what we could do is then just have that purple have a road that say does that. So these guys actually do run into the back of that to help out. Because I guess in theory these blue guys are backup routes. Like they're the break glass in case of emergency guys for this. But they're all going to be gone because I've just cut 2 more houses off it, haven't I? Let's get these 2 guys to then run into there. Let's put a traffic light there. So it means that everyone here is running back up, but they're going to have to run through each other to get to where they're going. We've only got these 4 purple houses that are basically unaffected by it. Doesn't feel great as a setup. We can also see that not many of these blue guys over here are moving at the moment. In fact, none of them are. Somehow these 2 guys are taking care of business. Cool. It's just in that brief moment came deep enough. Now, we can't have these guys separate, like we can't separate these guys from these guys at the moment because we've only got we don't have enough bridges. We would like to have enough that we can make this 2 separate sections. Let's get rid of that. Put that there. This guy here is not coping with the lack of houses that he's got. The problem is to get to him, we would have to basically just have, unless we cut across green, which we don't want to do because that's a circular base too. Just gonna have to do that, I suppose. But, which you'll see a surge of guys sort of just coming to quickly help out with that. now we've got this guy on here too. We don't want that, do we? We want that. No, I think we were right the first time. We want that. And certainly with enough bridges, we can divide out all of this orange to go to 3 separate destinations there. At the moment, we don't have that luxury. At least we are slowly getting some blue houses closer to where we need them. You can see again, all of these guys are still at homes. Only these 2 guys have 1 person away. Let's just do that shift. It means we pull the 3rd closest guy away from this, but hopefully he can just take care of him on his own for forever and ever. I don't know about his position there. He'd have to come all the way back and around to get down here. Right, well, maybe that's the solution for these 2 guys. Hopefully that's orange. Now you can see the problems that we're getting here. Okay. So let's pause for a second. Let's get this guy separated from those 2. Get 1, 2, 3, 4. No, maybe we want more. Let's go those 2 guys as well. That leaves 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, plenty for these 2. And that sort of will allow them to cover the long distance that they're gonna be going here. And we want to, I guess, put a set of traffic lights there. Because he is certainly our problem child at the moment. Him going circular this quick is a problem. Okay, so get rid of that. Swing this guy up here. We've run out of road tiles till we get that claim back. So both of these are struggling at the moment. This guy's got more than enough. So let's just shift him over to... Oh, we don't have enough road tiles for that yet. Get him in there to try and help out. And we might shift him across too, just to... Because they are not coping. Alright, this guy we're going to have to move across here. Give him a set of lights. Get those 2 guys connected. What can I do for these 2 guys? Now, most of these guys aren't doing anything, so what we might do is just run a connection out the back there. See if we can get these guys to go this way, as opposed to having to cut through, or like go backwards to get into place. Now, we've still got a major problem connection-wise here. Get the 2 of them disconnected a little bit further north from that, if they can. I don't even really need them on there. I just can't not have them really face that direction. Because they can't point north because there's a house in the way now. And they can't point any other direction without being part of that road. Okay, so everyone purple at the top is now struggling as well. Bridge is definitely what I need. Okay, so we can't go any further south. So we're going to have to shift this bridge north. So this community here is now just a pain because they're just in the way, essentially. Alright, so if we move this out, it's funny, no one is using that road at the moment because everyone is coming from these 2 houses. And what we want to do is get that guy out and flip him around this way. We'll get rid of those. And he can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably all of them except those 5. Yellow. You have an extra bridge. We could send yellow this way. We don't even need the bridge, actually. We went... These three guys cut across there. We then get rid of... Actually, no, I need the bridge for orange, don't I? Cut that out. Those guys are going to have to cut through that way. Because it's the only way they're going to be able to get through to him. Apparently means no one's connected to orange. And these guys aren't connected to anything. We can actually claim that at the moment. We'll do. Where are we going to connect into? There, I suppose. Cut them off. Oh, that's right. Okay. This guy's now taken care of with those three, which means I have to get these houses here, once I get this bridge back, to here. Ugh. Way to get in the way. Also cause your own little headaches. Alright, how are we getting blue houses to him? Well, let's get that yellow house down here to help out there. We also would like to get these three yellow houses up here to help out with that guy. So if we connected that this way, it would then mean that we wouldn't have a bridge that we could use for those purples. And this guy here, we just need to get to connect to the blue network. So I suppose that that's going to be our bridge there. But that's really going to isolate these guys. Essentially, they're going to have to go all the way around there to connect to anything. And that's going to be way too long a commute. The other option would be, this isn't too bad, the only thing on this line is actually this guy. So what if we just flip these guys all around to connect into this? Then they run across this, and then they come in at the back side of that. Now, problem with that is going to be that they're going to sort of try and mingle between everything. So what we then have to do is disconnect this guy both directions. We just have to rely on these guys taking care of this one, which does feel certainly dangerous because of how far away he is. Like, you can see that this is going to already be a ticking clock as these guys move down there. And some of them haven't even left home because it's not actually even considered an emergency at this point. There's not a need for them. So they won't leave the house until there is an order sitting there waiting for them. So the amount of time it's going to take for an order to be addressed is the same amount of time it's going to take for... Well, it means it's got to sit there for this entire length. Okay, so this guy here... We do have some greens along the top. But this is already a pretty busy thoroughfare that they're passing through. So let's just drop that down one. Swing that up, because then that means we just have all of these green guys just connected onto that. And you can just sort of add to that nightmare along the top. Although, what we could do to try and help that is... Oh, we don't have the road available at the moment. Let's just hang out until we can get a little bit more road. As you can see, this... Oh, that is causing a nightmare already. So all the blue is now stuck. Waiting on that traffic light. Let's get rid of that. We need Sunday to come real quick. That is a bad backlog. We don't have any bridges, so let's take the bridge. Okay, so let's pause that. So this guy now, what we can do is we can go all the way along the top into here. So then what that means is we can't really get rid of those two guys off there. Means that these guys will hopefully be a little bit more of the priority helping out. Basically, we just need to see this start moving. Because like I said, it'll be these guys stuck at the back that are going to be trying to get to something down here. That they're not going to be obviously correctly dividing themselves to look after this. And that is a long way back that they are all stuck at that roundabout. There's no one coming down here that surely even if this guy doesn't turn, he's not going to make it in time. I think we just missed 2000. Oh, 2001. So not too bad. Nice challenge, that one. Did enjoy that. All right, let's see how we did on the charts. 4%. Not too bad. 200 and something. Lowest one over 2000 with a couple of friends. Oh, well, any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. But till next time, catch you later. See ya.